Beethoven's 6th Symphony, which he called his Pastoral, is unique among his 9 famous essays in the genre. Conflict and struggle are defining aspects of Beethoven's identity as a composer, yet the Pastoral is strikingly free of these elements, and the reasons for this tell us much about Beethoven and the period in which he lived. Beethoven's status as a revolutionary figure rests equally on the novel content of his music and his association with Romanticism, which was blossoming in European music in the early part of the 19th century when he was coming of age as a composer. The strongly individualistic nature of Beethoven's art and personality would lead to his lionization as the embodiment of the wildly subjective Romantic artist. But this image is misleading. Beethoven was born in 1770 at the height of the Enlightenment in Europe, and his education, both generally and musically, was fully steeped in the values and spirit of the Age of Reason. The musical poetry and rhetoric that make Beethoven's works so captivating are always based on a rigorous intellectual foundation. If his music expresses a romantic artistic ideology, it does so through classical means. We see this in his sketchbooks, which provide us with compelling testimony about how he'd take the fruits of his imagination and work on them obsessively until he had pounded them into whatever shape he deemed to be precisely correct. And this historical context provides a path towards understanding why Beethoven's 6th Symphony is so different from his others. Throughout history, views of nature have varied widely according to time and place. People living in the Middle Ages saw the natural world as capricious, a domain that was under the complete control of an inscrutable, all-powerful deity, while Europeans in the Romantic era found inspiration in the idea that nature's awesome mystery was in itself the ultimate portal to truth. The values of the Enlightenment that shaped Beethoven's outlook reflected a belief that nature could be tamed by science and reason to create a much more worthwhile human existence. This led to a cultural emphasis on order, balance, and symmetry that affected all walks of life. In the visual arts, this sensibility manifested itself in carefully wrought landscape paintings that depicted nature as exquisitely benign, and it's this spirit that animates and pervades Beethoven's 6th Symphony. The unusual 5-movement layout of the Pastoral has the character of a series of musical postcards that present the natural world in familiar, reassuring terms. Even the cataclysmic storm movement has a wonderfully melodramatic innocence that indicates the threat is episodic, not existential. To Beethoven, nature was the great healer, a source of comfort and consolation as he soldiered through life afflicted by a disability that devastated him professionally and psychologically. Ultimately, the Pastoral Symphony is a hymn of gratitude, Beethoven's homage to the idealized vision of the natural world that so sustained him.